Residents in Golden Valley who raised concerns about the possibility of a new fire station being built in their neighborhood received the news they were hoping for. The Golden Valley City Council has decided not to build a new centrally located fire station on any site that's currently occupied by someone's home. Rather than acquiring residential homes in the Scheid Park neighborhood through the process of eminent domain, council members decided that placing the station on one of 3 commercial sites along Duluth Street or a baseball field at Shopper Park would make the most sense.
Now we have very clear direction. We know where we can start looking, we know who we can approach, and that gives us now the ability to really explore this project rather than just conversationally, but really getting into the nuts and bolts of each of the sites.
Golden Valley is in the process of switching over to a duty crew staffing model, which requires firefighters to be on staff 24/7. The Crystal City Council interviewed the candidates to fill the vacant City Council seat for Section 1 on Tuesday night. It's the seat that Nancy LaRoche vacated last month. The candidates who filed for the appointment are Rachel Broughton, Taji Onsirasan, Alvin Andolshek, Terry Schultz, Bonnie Bolash, and Travis Thompson. The new council member is expected to be appointed to fill the remainder of the term, which runs through 2024. The new council member could be appointed as soon as April 4th. A Brooklyn Park Elementary School principal has been named Principal of the Year. Ronald Salazar has been principal at Birch Grove Elementary for 5 years, but he's worked in education for 17 years. He has been named Magnet Schools of America's Region 4 Principal of the Year. He will be invited to the Magnet School of America's National Conference in Dallas next month, where a national winner will be announced. A Brooklyn Park woman's balloon business has really taken off, thanks in part to a Hennepin County program. Erin Arstad is a benefactor of the program called Elevate Hennepin. Reporter Sarah Allen explains.
So here is where the magic happens.
Erin Arstad is up to her elbows in balloons, but she wouldn't have it any other way. Known as the Balloon Lady, she spends her week preparing balloons for her creations that grace graduation parties, baby showers, large group events, and everything in between.
Pretty good bang for your buck in the sense that balloons take up a lot of space and add a lot of color to a space.
Arstad got into the balloon business after realizing that there was a niche that needed to be filled.
It was my daughter's 7th birthday at the time, and I saw a balloon arrangement on Pinterest and loved it, and I called and I couldn't find anyone locally to make it, so I said, okay, let me give it a try.
Soon she was getting lots of calls for her creations.
It just has snowballed.
When she realized that her side hustle was blowing up, she was ready for a career change, but not sure about all the logistics to starting a business.
I was a mortgage lender, so it's quite the jump.
That's where Hennepin Elevate comes in to help. They put entrepreneurs in contact with advisors to get their ideas off the ground.
People come to Elevate and I help them as a women venture business consultant.
Along with getting help building a business plan, Arstad also worked with other advisors that provided tax and legal know-how.
All of the framework that they're providing me with is putting me way ahead of where I would be without them.
Arstad's been able to soar to new heights faster thanks to the support, and went full-time this year with her business, Balloon Fancy. In Brooklyn Park, Sarah Allen, CCX News.
An Osseo business with a deep history in the community will be closing this spring. The owner of Michael's Boots and Shoe Repair is retiring. Delane Cleveland reports.
Bring him in, we'll take care of it.
For the last 61 years.
This business opened up in 1962 when Brookdale first opened up. And it was a family business. My dad and mom opened it up.
Michael Zastowny has served an important purpose.
It is a dying art.
It's the dying art of being able to repair nearly anything made out of leather.
Heels, soles, rips on them, conditioning, dyeing. The majority of the work I do is usually on high heels.
Michael's Boots and Shoe Repair has spent the last 23 years on Osseo's Central Avenue.
It's been very good. It's a good little town.
It's part repair shop.
I have done baby dolls and put their heads back on.
part museum for anything having to do with shoes, boots, or leather.
Oh, a lot more shoe repair, yes, a lot more.
Since moving the shop to Osseo in 2000, Michael has amassed more than 20,000 customers.
And a lot of my customers have become friends now.
Friends who will soon have to find a new place to have their shoes, boots, and other leather items repaired.
I'm constantly busy.
Michael says he's retiring on May 1st.
I'm turning 3/4 of a century next month, so I thought 75 is a good time to quit.
With no apprentice to take over the business and fewer people getting into this line of work,
There's nobody going into it, so it just, it's tough.
Michaels will join the growing list of shoe repair shops taking a permanent vacation.
A couple in Crystal, they're gone. Maple Grove is gone. So within the last few years, there have been like 4 places that are just shut down.
It's why he's trying to get the word out so that customers can bring in items before he stops accepting them at the end of March.
People love their shoes.
In Osseo, Delaney Cleveland, CCX News.
This past week, we got to stop by Zanewood Recreation Center in Brooklyn Park to hear an inspirational speech.
That is something that you guys cannot take for granted, to be able to learn from one another, to know someone else's background history.
Mark Cooper grew up in Brooklyn Park and attended school at both Northview and Park Center before playing basketball in college. He shared what it was like to grow up in Brooklyn Park and then touched on his career now, which is working in advertising. Mark is one of the many people who stopped by the Zanewood Recreation Center to share their story and spread a little inspiration too.
Mediocre C grades and you go to college.